and welcome to Talk to Nishant. Today I have Vinay Pasricha in the studio with me. Vinay is a multi-dimensional person. He is an author, investor, and a founder. His recent initiative, Goodspace, is revolutionizing hiring as we know it. Let's hear it from him. Hey Vinay, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you. So, Vinay, before we get started, for those who don't know you, if you could start with a brief introduction, please.
Well, how do I introduce? I'm an entrepreneur by choice. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 30 years. I'm an engineer by profession, and then I did my management at the Harvard Business School. And then I've run several multiple businesses over the last 30 years. I've been in software, in education, in information services, training, diverse areas.
Wonderful. So, with such a wide variety of background, you have seen so many sectors. What issue, what problem did you identify in recruitment, in hiring, which you decided to solve with Good Space?
See, in recruitment, the main problem is that these all are recruitment platforms like your Naukri, your LinkedIn, your Monster, Indeed. They were created about 20 to 30 years ago. That they were created in a world where employers had all the power. So if you got a job, you were thankful, and company hold all the power. That situation over the years has changed. Now people are looking for specific roles in specific companies. And since these platforms are oriented towards the company and towards the corporation that is hiring, they are not being fair, so to speak, to people who are applying for jobs. It's not only jobs, these are multiple things happening now. People are looking at full time jobs. A lot of people are not looking at full time jobs, they're looking at freelancing, consulting, entrepreneurship. So the nature of work has changed, and the relationship between the person who's offering you work and the worker has also changed substantially. So what we do is we have inversed the power equation. We are working more for the person who's looking for work, to try and understand what makes him tick, what kind of work he's looking, in which industry, in what format, and then we try and find whatever works for him in the industry rather than trying to find people for a company. So we have reversed the roles, and we believe that that is something that will help people much more.
Okay, so now it's more employee centric. This platform is making it more employee centric rather than making it employer centric, which other recruitment and job portals do.
So
That's the
that's,
main
yeah,
differentiating factor.
because it is true, but it's rather an oversimplification. It is employee centric, obviously, but not employees. Why employees? Freelancers, consultants, entrepreneurs looking for work in any format, because now it's very fluid. It's people are doing two or three things at the same time, uh, and it's important to enable them to do that and find work the time they want to find it and the kind of work they want to find.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you have also incorporated AI in the initial phases to help in the candidate's journey. So, how is that working out?
The AI is an enabler. It helps him um, enrich his profile. It helps him find, so it can fine tune. See, previously our systems were based on simple search or string match search, where you would search for keywords, and that was then difficult to fine tune it to what you precisely require because the systems were dumb. With the AI, we can run a much better search, which is a more holistic search. We can create a vector out of all your requirements, match it with the vector of the work available, and it's far easier to find exactly what you're looking for in a whole lot of data out there. So we are using artificial intelligence to match more precisely, like a human being would. So when we used to go to a consultant 30 years ago, we would explain to him what kind of industry we are looking for, what kind of work we are looking for, and what kind of culture we may want to work in, what type of organization, etc., etc., etc. The consultant would then go and find us something that we like. So now it became impossible with the recruitment platforms because we were doing string matching. So there's a limitation to string matching. So now with the artificial intelligence, we can actually go into detail and can really understand in depth what the person wants and then match him with the requirements that he has.
Fascinating, simply fascinating. So, Vinay, today you are sitting here and you are able to pursue your dreams, but this entrepreneurship journey can never be a straight path. It's a roller coaster ride. So you must have experienced many obstacles in the way. So how did that journey flow for you?
So actually, I do read a lot of entrepreneurial journeys which are full of difficulties and obstacles, and that is expected. But in my journey, I started about 30 years ago. At that point, entrepreneurship was far easier than it is today, and it was because not many people wanted to become entrepreneurs. Today, everybody wants to become. So life was simpler. We were able to start and gain traction quite effortlessly, I would say. And as we grew, we accumulated more and more capital and more experience. And for me, the journey has been fairly smooth all for the last 30 years. And I started with zero money and zero experience. I started like right out of college with no money in my pocket and no experience in my CV. And still, the country, the economy, and the environment allowed us to succeed.
Wonderful. So there must have been mentors who would have assisted you.
No, zero
It
mentors.
was self learning, using books, using all the knowledge that's available in the public platform.
So imagine a world where there is no Google and there is no internet. That's the world we live in, right? So access to knowledge was fairly limited to whatever we could imagine and whatever we could think of. They were books, but I don't think much of the learning came from books. Uh, However, there was one author which impacted me early on, and this was a lady called Ayn Rand. And I read her books early on in school and later in early college days, and that had an impact to some extent on how I dealt with life, at least in the initial years.
Got it, got it. And what about work-life balance? While handling so much, how do you maintain a healthy work-life balance?
See, again, I'm sorry to bust all these myths. Um, how do you define work-life balance? People think of work as work and life as life, and they're two separate compartments. I work for 8 hours or 10 hours, and I go back to my life, and I do whatever I do in my life. For me, life is work and work is life. So it's fairly intertwined. And if you are doing what you're doing and you like to do it, then there is no real boundary between your personal life and your work. So for me, it's all intermingled. And I sort of don't have specific times for work and life. It's like work and life all the time happening together.
Uh-huh. And it's pretty satisfying for you. So where do you
I don't
see
think of
yourself?
work like most people do. I think I enjoy what I do and I think of it as my life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's fulfilling, of course.
Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you see good space, and where do you see yourself?
Because the world is rapidly changing, we really can't predict. It's changing so fast right now. But yeah, we are going towards growth. We are looking at serving more people in more geographies across the world, and let's see where life takes us. We don't have very rigid goals that we have set for ourselves. We more play by how it happens, what happens, and we take it by every day as it comes. But
Going
we
with the
see
flow.
we go with the flow. We do have objectives. Don't get me wrong. It's not that there is no plan, but the world is changing so fast, and
Mhm.
everything is changing so fast, especially after AI. That all our the way we work, the way we deal with technology, the way we deal with our own workspace and how we work, what we do, it's all changing very, very rapidly. And maybe a lot of people don't see that change right now, but in the next 18 to 24 months, a lot of things are going to change very dramatically. So we just want to access these opportunities, use them to the best of our knowledge, and expand and grow and see where it takes us.
Great, great. That's a wonderful plan. And what would you like to say to all those young entrepreneurs out there who are trying to make the most out of themselves?
When I started my entrepreneurial journey, the only thing that motivated me was to make more money, right? Now, over time, I realized that money is a byproduct.
Mhm.
So, if you start with the objective that I want to make more money, it may motivate you for a while, but money usually, or wealth, is usually a byproduct of what you do. So, if your only motivation is to make money, then you're in for a rough ride.
Okay.
So, you're in for not being fulfilled. Because you'll probably make money, but if you make money doing things that you don't like to do or doing something that you hate, there's no point. So, what's more important for an entrepreneur today is to figure out what is the unique things that he brings to the world. What can he do better than anybody else? And then find an area where he can provide that whatever he can do better than anybody else to a bunch of people who appreciate that. And money will come. It's more important to say, what can I bring to the table rather than what can I take away from the table. What you can take away will happen on its own if you bring enough to the table.
That's a beautiful lesson. Thank you for this, and thank you for your time today. It was absolutely a delight speaking with you. Thank you, Vinay.
Thank you.
Take care.